recording. Okay, and then I am going to just go to share my screen here. And forgive me if I'm not kind of ready and all set up for this, but it should be somewhat painless. Okay, so I sent a zip file that had that mock-up in it. And you received that?
Yeah, I did, but it didn't have anything in it that I could use. It had a
Okay, let me go back to that file here and I'll just walk through all the steps here. Okay. And by the way, what I told the class this morning is that if you go to your announcements tab here and you click on Zoom lecture topics, I will be updating this about every 3 or 4 lectures, video lectures that we do, so that you won't have to kind of fish through and see where stuff is. So if you want to know like where the mock-up lecture was, you could just kind of scroll down here and you can see in lecture 7 I talked about what is a mock-up. And it might be in lecture 7, resources for mock-ups. I think I might have talked about it there. So lecture 7. So I'm going to go to assignments, Zoom lecture 7. And here is the Yellowstone mock-up right here. The mock-up zip that we used for that assignment. So you need to download this one. And then I also give you another kind of billboard mock-up. I think it was like a subway or poster subway mock-up. So anyway, you would click on this Yellowstone mock-up and it should download to your, or click here. It takes you to this page and then you click here and that should download it to your computer. And these mock-ups are really cool. I try and look for free ones because they're always nice where you don't have to pay for it, but a lot of times the good ones you have to pay for. So
what I got was something that looked like 2 ads on one document.
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull this Yellowstone mock-up over here to my desktop, double click on that, and that opens up a folder. Double click on that and you'll see the the mock-up right here, and it'll say smart sign or whatever, smart signage advertising. So I'll select that. That's the one right there. And double click on that. That'll open up in Photoshop. And so this is what that should look like in Photoshop when you open up that mock-up.
Okay, yeah, I got that. I tried to put
the graphic in there.
Yeah, the graphic I created into that
where it says place your design here. Okay.
It wouldn't. I think what I needed to do was rotate the mock-up frame so that it was facing me directly. But
okay, let me just walk you through this, and then you can see how I do it. I'm also recording this, so okay. So we have this mock-up here. Now, one thing I'm going to need is the actual InDesign JPEG of the bear. Okay, that would have been something that you exported from InDesign. So I'm just going to go into InDesign and just bear with me. Maybe you've already done this, but I'm just going to go step by step so it's recorded. Okay, so I'm in InDesign, and I'm going to go open up that let's see, that was Spring Art 145 assignments, Yellowstone exercise, brown bear kiosk. Okay, so here's my InDesign file. Let me open that up. And there is my
You're supposed to use the InDesign document, not the JPEG.
no, you're gonna export a JPEG. Okay, so
Oh,
here is my InDesign file of my you built this in InDesign. So now I'm going to go over to File and Export. And I have a 2-page document, but we're just going to export the 1 page here, page 1. So I go to File and Export, and I make sure that the format down here is JPEG. I'll call it Brown Bear Kiosk. I'm going to just save this to my desktop to make it simple for now. JPEG, Brown Bear Kiosk. I'll click Save. And then I'll just leave this as the default. 300 pixels per inch is fine. And I'll export. Okay, so there it is right there. You can see it on my desktop right here. Okay, and so now I'm ready to bring this into this mockup. So I'll go back to Photoshop here. And you want to look for this red indication here, and that says Place Design here. So this is the layer that you're going to place it. This is what's called a smart layer. And a smart layer is something that no matter what you put in, it always changes. It changes, it inserts it here in this photograph, which is cool. And that's something that the designers, have created. There's ways to make your own mock-up, but it's a little complicated. But this is the way that he made the mock-up. These are all the layers that he used and so forth. And rather than explain all of this stuff, this is the one that you want to look for. Always look for the ones that are in color. Some of them are orange and some of them are yellow, and it all depends. But it usually says Place Design here. So I'm going to double click on this. On this little smart layer right here. You see this little square inside of this thumbnail? So click
yeah.
on that, and that gets you to this right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Now, this is the graphic that was put in that photo. And it's all in perspective, and everything works. So all you need to do is replace this with your graphic. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brown bear JPEG, and I'm going to open it up in Photoshop. So I'm just going to grab this and drag it over to my Photoshop icon here. Now you could do it that way. You can open it up that way, or you can go to File, Open, and you can select it from the desktop. Okay, there it is right there. I can do it the old-fashioned way, or I can just drag this over to the icon and it'll open up. So let's do it that way. I'll just drag this over, drop it on the Photoshop icon, and it opens in Photoshop. Okay, so there it is in its own tab here. Okay, so here is my, composite. Here is the sign that we're going to replace, and here is the actual bear. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on this JPEG, and I'm going to select. I'm going to select everything. So by doing that, I just do Command A or Control A if you're on a PC. Control A or Command A. That puts the marching ants around this entire graphic. Okay, and then I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to do Command C. or Control C. That copies this whole thing. I'm going to go over to this file here, okay, and I'm going to do Command V, which is paste. So I'm going to just paste what I just copied, the bear. So Command V, okay, and you can see that here it pasted that graphic right on top of this one. Okay, now I don't need to see this one, so I'll take the visibility off. See that? And if I kind of move this over to the side, you can see that there's two layers here. This one that I just brought in, and this is the one that was there as placeholder. So I'll take this one off. Okay, it's still there, but I'm just taking the visibility off. And I'm moving this one over into this area here. Now you notice how it falls a little bit short here? And the reason is that the proportion of this isn't the exact proportion of what it's replacing. So I'm going to make a little adjustment here. I'm going to select this layer and do Command T, which is transform. And that's going to allow me to enlarge this a bit so that it fits this canvas. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down so I don't mess up the proportions. And then I'm going to grab either any one of these corners here, this one or this one, and I'm going to click and drag it up until it fits this. Okay. Actually, no, I don't have to hold the Shift key down in Photoshop. I can just grab this. And it proportionally scales it up, and I'm going to scale it up just enough so it covers the width. Now, I lost some of the top, but that's okay. All right, we can afford to lose some of that. Now, once I have this filling, this whole shape, I'm going to just hit Return or Enter on a PC. Okay, and that sets it. So now it fills the entire area. Now, to get it to go into this, to go into this, okay, what I need to do is save it. That's all I need to do. I'm going to just keep this off, keep the visibility off of this layer, and I'll just save it. So it's Control S or Command S on a Mac. Okay, Command S. Now, once I did that, I saved it to this composite. So if I go to this composite, I could see that it pasted it in here. And it adjusted the perspective so that it looks like it's actually in this poster. Now, once I have this, I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Okay, I'm going to save the whole composite now as a JPEG. So I'm going to go simply up to File and Save As. Okay, I want to do Save As because I don't want to save on top of this because it's going to wipe out my my original, file. So I'll go File, Save As, and I might call this Yellowstone Kiosk Composite. Okay. And then I want to make sure that the format here is JPEG. So I'll save it as a JPEG. Save it to my desktop. And I'll click Save. Click OK. Just the JPEG quality should be, medium is fine. Or large is fine. So now when I go over to my desktop here, let me hide that, I will see the Yellowstone kiosk JPEG. Actually, it was the composite. Okay, did I save it to my desktop? I thought I did. Should be here somewhere. Is it over here? Maybe I didn't save it to the desktop. Let me do that again. File, Save As. Where did it go? Oh, it saved it inside this, I think it saved it inside the Smart Signage Advertising folder. Oops. Okay, but it's there. So let me look for it. I guess I didn't save it to the desktop, huh? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, here it is. Smart Advertising folder, did it? Yeah, there it is. Yellowstone composite. Okay. So this is the file that you're going to actually upload to Canvas. And if I double click on this, you'll see that's what you're going to upload. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the kiosk assignment. It didn't also it didn't come out like it is in the poster then.
Uh-huh.
So when we're done with this, maybe you can help me out with that.
I'm sorry, the actual kiosk poster
Yeah,
in InDesign?
yeah.
Oh, okay, so you had trouble creating it in InDesign?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, well, did you watch the video on how I built this in InDesign?
Uh, yeah, I did, but uh, it was
Because I have a video of how this was built, and it's basically the same thing that I would show you right now. I mean, you could just watch that video. Let me go over to where that is. This is where going to that page helps out. Going to that lecture topics page, because I can see where the Yellowstone. Okay, so here it is, lecture number 4, exercise 1, how to build a document in InDesign, Yellowstone. This is the Yellowstone thing. So this is the lecture 4, and I think lecture 5 also, part 1 and 2, are the ones where I built that in InDesign. So let's go here to lecture 4. So I'll go over here to assignments, go over to lecture 4. Okay, here's the video here. Just gonna, okay. So if you watch this video here, this is lecture 4. I know you probably can't hear that right now, but this is the video that shows how to build, how to load the fonts, how to set up the page, how to bring in the bear graphic, all of that. And then I think I also continued this in lecture 5. I'm going to go to lecture 5 now. Yeah, lecture 5, it looks like when I was doing this live in class and we were recording it, the reason I have 2 videos here is because my Canvas, my internet, I think died, and everyone got cut off, and I lost connection. So I had to make 2 videos for this. But let's check this one out here. And let me just see. Yeah, see, I'm talking about how we're building this, or how I'm setting the text for this. And I'm continuing on with, I'm continuing on with this Yellowstone video here on how to build this in InDesign. So this video here is a continuation of the last video. And then this video here, what is this one? Yeah, this one I'm also continuing on talking how we built the, let me get rid of these, okay. So how the map comes in, how the text wraps around this, this map image here. So what you
Yeah,
need to,
the map didn't come out like that in my InDesign graphic, and if the text was supposed to wrap around
around the
the
map.
graphics, it didn't.
Okay. Well, let me show you that real quick. I think everything else is pretty straightforward as far as how to bring in the text and how to set up the headline and the colored boxes behind. I think that's pretty straightforward. But the text wrap right here, yeah, I did talk about that, but I'll go over that with you right now in InDesign because that's something that could.
Yeah, I get I think I think you've got the InDesign graphics that I submitted.
Okay, yeah, yeah. But did you get the text wrap to work?
Um, I didn't have time. I was
Okay, let me show you
busy
really
with a lot
quick
of
how
other
you
stuff.
do a text wrap. Okay, this is very simple. It's um, all it requires is okay. So I'm going to grab the text tool and I'm just going to set a box of text. I'm just going to throw in some placeholder text right here
Yeah,
real quick.
I think also that no, I couldn't get the background to to I mean I couldn't seem to apply the color to the background correctly.
Okay, well, applying color to a an object, if I have a rectangle here, as you see down here, in order
Uh,
to apply a color is very simple. Get on your selection tool, select the box, and then just go over to your swatches palette and click. Now see, right now the outline of the box is what's selected, and that's why when I click the color, just the outline changes color. So we don't want the outline to change. I'm going to do none for the outline. I'm going to click on the fill, this solid
uh,
area here. And when that comes in front of the outline, right, you can either select the outline or the fill. You can see which one comes forward. And
uh,
when the fill is forward and you select the color, it fills the box.
yeah, okay.
Okay. When you select the outline and you select the color, it creates an outline of that color. So I can fill the box with one color and I can make the outline another color. Okay,
Yeah,
in this case,
I had a bunch of borders with these frames that I
okay,
didn't.
then if you have borders that you don't want, just select the object and see where it says outline, just make it none.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and that then your borders will go away. So
Yeah, I
that's
didn't. Yeah, I don't think I used swatches.
okay.
Tried to do something else. I don't
Okay, so
remember what
here's
it
how you
is.
get text to wrap around an object. Okay, let's say this is a photograph. We can use this. We don't need a photograph, but because text can wrap around anything. So whatever the you want the text to wrap around, you have to select that image, that photo. And then you're
Uh,
going to go up here and use this one up here. See where it says wrap around bounding box? This one? Okay, it's up here in the contextual menu. You're on your selection tool. You're selecting your photo, and then you're coming up here, and you should see a box here that says wrap around bounding box. When you click that, when you move this box, watch how the text repels
okay.
that box. See that? So wherever you move this box, the text is always going to wrap around this box. Okay, whether it's here or whether it's on this side. Now, you see right here, if I put this box on the left side, you see how the text runs right up against the edge here?
Yeah.
And you probably don't want that. You probably want some space in here.
Uh,
Okay. Now, to get that to happen, if what you're going to do is you want to go to get your text wrap option out. Now, if you don't have it in your palettes, uh, like let me take that out. Okay. If you're looking here, it's not there. Go up to Window, go down to Text Wrap right there. it comes out, and then take this and dock it in your palette so it's always there. Now, open it up, and you can see these things right here. The distance from the top to the photo, the distance from the bottom to the photo, distance from the side to the photo, and so forth. Right side, left side. Now we want more distance on the right side of this photo. So that would be this field right here. And if I click up, watch what happens to the text as I increase the distance. You see how it moves away from the right side of that box more? So that allows me to have some nice spacing around my text box. So now wherever I move this, I'll always have that space. Now if I take that away and make it 0 and move it over here this way, notice how this is a ragged right because my alignment on this, my alignment on the text is, you can see, is align left and ragged right. So it's going to rag around the left side of this photo. If I went to a justified setting here, watch what happens to this edge right here. It's nice and neat, right? All of these are justified. But again, it's running right up against the edge of this box. So again, I would select the box. This time I would go on this side of the box and increase that. And see how it pushes it away?
Yeah.
So now wherever I move this, I have this nice setting. So think of this as the map. Think of this as the text that's wrapping around it. And you can increase the top space more or the bottom space more. It all depends, whatever you want. But it's under text wrap, and text wrap is under window, text wrap. Okay, so that's all you have to do. Make sure that you assign the image a text wrap, and it's usually this one here, wraparound bounding box. And then with the text wrap menu here, you can adjust the spacing around it.
Okay.
And that should work. Okay.
Yeah, I think I had yeah, I had trouble getting the graphics to fit in the field because well, I was trying to resize them. I didn't know how to resize them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'd forgotten.
Anytime you want to resize anything like this bear, if you want to make it smaller, okay, just select it. And then in InDesign, what you have to do is you have to hold down the control. Are you on a PC or on a Mac?
PC.
On a PC, okay. So you're going to hold down the control and shift, both keys. Okay, hit one first and then hold, and then hit the other and hold. Okay, and then grab one of these corners here, and it will proportionally scale, okay, your graphic. Command Z is undo. So if you hold Control and Shift down, grab a corner, if you click and hold for 1 second before you start moving, then you can watch it get smaller. See how I can see it get smaller as I move back and forth diagonally? But if you just click and drag, it's just the box that gets smaller. And then when you let go of the mouse, then you'll see it. So I like to just kind of hold for a minute, just hold for a second, click, hold, and then I can watch it grow.
Okay.
Okay, and that's how you make things bigger or smaller. Now, if you like the position of this and you want to make it smaller, but you don't want to, see when I do Control and Shift, I can make it smaller, but then I have to click and move it back into position. Okay, if I want to just shrink it from this position, then I can hold the Control Alt Shift 3 and grab this, click, hold. Now watch how it how it reduces. It reduces from the center. See that? It doesn't move. It reduces right from the center. This is great when you're wanting to make concentric circles and you don't want to have to keep repositioning your circle. So it's kind of a nice way to just reduce or enlarge from the center. So that's cool. Like this Yellowstone, right? I can click on this and I can do Control Alt Shift, grab this, click and hold, and watch the way it grows from the center out. Okay,
What
it's
about when
all
you put, what about when you're putting the the graphics in the field to begin with? What if they're not um, uh, uh, I mean, when I put the map in, it only showed part of the map because it was too big. It didn't
came in way too
fit neatly
big.
inside the
Okay,
field.
okay. So when you place something, okay, and
Uh-huh.
I'll do the same thing. I'll go to File and Place, and I'll grab this map, okay, and the map I think is, let's see, this is, I've got to get to the right folder here. 145 assignments. Oh, that's so many paths here. Okay, so here's the map, right? And I'm going to place this map. So I'm going to click Open. Then I get this loaded icon. Now, if I just click, it's going to place it at the original resolution of this map, and this map resolution is really big. So if I just click, okay, you can see, wow, hold on, let me get that out here. Maybe this map actually is really small. Let me place this again. Click open and just click and place. Oh, okay. Yeah, it comes in huge like this, right? This is probably what
Yeah.
was happening to you. It was coming in way too big. Maybe it was coming in so big that it was getting cut off like that.
It was getting so big that only a portion of the map
Okay.
showed inside the
Okay.
frame.
So here's what the way you do it. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to place again, file and place. Only this time when I place this map, I'm going to select the map, click open. I'm going to get my loaded icon. Instead of just clicking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag the size I want it to be. Okay, and let's say I want it to be really small. When I let go of the mouse, that's the size it comes in at. And then if I want to enlarge it, I can hold down the Control and Shift key and make it bigger. Or Control Alt Shift and enlarge it from the center.
You created a frame and dragged it to the size you wanted before
Right.
you
So what I did was I placed it, I grabbed it, and I get my icon here, and I just clicked and dragged the frame size I wanted, and then let go, and it comes into that exact frame size.
okay.
But if you just kind of click and, just click once, it comes in the size, the original size of the art, which is too
Uh-huh.
big.
Yeah.
Okay, so place it that way. Just kind of click and drag, and it will come in at the size you want it to come in. Then you can adjust the size afterwards.
Okay, and the fonts we used, we had to install them on the computer first.
Yeah, I gave you one font here. Actually, I think I might have given you two fonts. This is, you can use whatever generic uh, serif font you have on your computer. Times Roman is fine for this. But this is a font called Chunk 5, and I gave that to you in the zip file. And so if you're going to use Chunk 5, you're going to have to install that on your PC.
Yeah,
And
I think I got that right.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty simple. Just put it in your fonts folder. And then once you do that, it will be recognized in InDesign.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I'm gonna try it again.
Give it a try. Should work. You just have to be patient with this stuff, I mean, this is Uh, the way you learn software is you got to struggle. I hate to tell you that this is going to be painful, but it's just stuff. The way you learn is by making mistakes, and you get frustrated and you look for ways and you call for help, and then when you finally get it, you'll remember how to do it.
Yeah, you and the other instructors, they want the sign by a certain date. And, I only have two days a week to work on this. Um,
Yeah, well,
I
I'll,
would
I'll
like
work.
myself.
I'll work with you on that. I mean, I have in the past, and I mean, you're showing concern about trying to get it done, and you keep in good communication with me, and so
Yeah,
I
I think
appreciate that.
yeah, I think I should get. I ought to get this right. If I'm going to work at doing this, then I need to be able to master the software.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you just need to log hours and do stuff and struggle with it. But I understand your time, amount of time you might have to devote to this, and I know right now a lot of people are really struggling with staying in school because of lost jobs and all kind of stuff. So we're trying to be here for everybody and trying to understand everyone's situation. My main concern with students has always been I don't care if you turn stuff in late. I mean I got to set deadlines and all of that, and you got to do that. But my concern is your desire to want to learn, and if you keep communicating with me, that's fine. I'll give you some slack on the deadlines.
Okay, that's good.
Alrighty?
All right.
Okay, man. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Okay.